Welcome back. You with the NCN 6 o'clock news. GWI CEO Karan Singh says providing there is no disruption from the power company, there will be full water supply for Carifesta. Singh says most of the pump stations do not operate on standby generators. He added that standby trailers will be available at Carifesta locations in cases of emergencies. The CEO also indicated that full water pressure is being restored around Georgetown this afternoon and persons can guarantee clear water. The water company is also calling on persons to utilize the water supply responsibly to prevent any waste. 53 Cuban scholarship students graduated last evening at the first ever organized by the Ministry of Public Service. President Bharat Jagdeo urged the graduates not to be passive, but strive through hard work and commitment to face the various challenges that will affect them. Natasha Smith has this report.
The president outlined the various challenges currently facing the Guyanese society as he cited the need for crafting a variable economic and political strategy. He acknowledged that there is a lack of human and technical resources in Guyana, however, pointed out that this cannot be lingered on.
But we have the capability of changing that. And we cannot change it by complaints. We cannot change it just by analyzing over and over the situation and then wallow in self-pity. We can only change it through hard work, commitment, and understanding of the task before us.
The president urged the graduates to be humble and kind to those they serve as the public depends on them.
So I ask of you not to play a passive role in your country. This is your country to inherit. It is your country to fashion. You have to shape it the way you want it shaped. And this is going to be a key part of my expectations of you.
He highlighted climate change as a challenge that will affect all sectors, especially agriculture and health, through the destruction of agricultural lands and the spread of diseases. Meanwhile, Minister of Public Service Jennifer Westford also congratulated the graduates for their dedication and perseverance through their studies. She also noted the significance of them returning to serve Guyana, adding that another 65 students have returned to complete their final year of studies here. Acting Cuban Ambassador Ms. Mercedes Herrera urged the students to serve their country with dignity and thanked the Medical Brigade for its assistance to the students while in Cuba. The number of students studying in Cuba will reach 1,000 by year end. Among those present at the ceremony were Prime Minister Samuel Hines, Government Ministers Robert Prasad, Dr. Desiree Fox, and Dr. Barry Ramsaran, among other dignitaries. Reporting for the NCN 6 o'clock news, Natasha Smith.
More than 26,000 students countrywide are to benefit from government's $55 million school uniform distribution program. Minister of Human Services and Social Security Priya Manik-Chand says each child in underprivileged homes will benefit from this assistance. Children on public assistance and disabled children who are attending learning institutions and children in institutions such as orphanages are entitled to this benefit. Each voucher is worth $1,500 and the ministry is putting systems in place to make the vouchers redeemable at stores and other outlets within the communities. Flights arriving at the Cheddi Jagan International Airport this evening can now resume normal operations with the installation of some 40 portable solar-powered airport runway lights. The portable lights arrived from Barbados on loan to the local aviation authority earlier today. NCN's Akila Jacobs has more. Moving on in the news, Superintendent of Examinations Juliet Persico says the deadline for CXC examinations results is August 18. Over 9,000 students across Guyana wrote the examinations over the period of May and June and are awaiting their results. Registrar of the Caribbean Examinations Council, Dr. Didicus Jules, said Guyana continues to have outstanding results in these exams. The CXC examinations were not hindered in Guyana, even as a leakage in neighboring Trinidad caused a postponement of the examinations there. The Ministry of Health has set up a strategic plan that will ensure the blood bank constantly receives safe blood. And Health Minister Dr. Leslie Ramsamy says the plan will ensure that all health facilities are fully equipped to collect blood donations. Natasha Smith reports.
The National Blood Transfusion Unit and PEPFAR yesterday ended 2 days of consultations with stakeholders. Director of the Blood Bank, Dr. Angela Binder, says discussions on the challenges and successes and the future of the bank were also held. She adds that one of the major challenges is getting persons to donate blood. However, this is being looked at.
What we have been planning to do, we're working with the social mobilization unit of the Ministry of Health in putting the word out. We're going to be doing more public relations activity and encouraging people to come in and donate. But as I said, it's a whole change in culture. Normally Guyanese know somebody's in the hospital for blood, you ask a relative to come and donate. But we're trying to move away from that and having people just walk in and donate. So it's going to be a very significant challenge in changing Guyanese culture to that, but we're working on that.
She adds that there are significant improvements in voluntary donation with the achievement of 60% voluntary donors. Meanwhile, Minister of Health Dr. Leslie Ramsamy says there are plans to improve the blood transfusion services. He adds that this is to ensure that citizens are granted their fundamental right of acquiring blood. He highlighted some of the plans for blood donation by 2010.
What we want to ensure is that by 2010, 2% to 2.5% of the adult population of Guyana are registered in a centralized database as voluntary regular blood donors.
Part of the plan is also to accumulate 10,000 units of blood by 2010. These numbers, he added, must not be written in stone but must be continuously reviewed. He says the demand for blood is growing, therefore an adequate and safe supply of blood must be maintained. Minister Ramsamy says all the hospitals with labs countrywide need to be equipped to take blood, but the National Blood Transfusion Center will remain the central point in distributing and screening to ensure blood meets specified standards.
We don't see the need to build several blood centers at the level of what we have in Georgetown. We believe that the Georgetown facility we can focus on and build it into a high-quality national center with all of the testing capacity and so on. And we do not need to duplicate it.
The minister adds that the ministry is also responsible for providing blood to patients at private clinics. Reporting for the 6 o'clock news, Natasha Smith.
And now for the story we promised earlier, where flights arriving at the Cheddi Jagan International Airport this evening can now resume normal operations with the installation of some 40 portable solar-powered airport runway lights. The portable lights arrived from Barbados on loan to the local aviation authority earlier today. NCN's Akila Jacobs has more.
Transport and Hydraulics Minister Robeson Benz said the lights are a loan from Grantley Adams International Airport in Barbados. He says it would have cost the government some $2,500 to procure. With the arrival of the portable lights today, night flights are expected to resume.
In the meantime, we had hoped and we expect that by tomorrow when we get in the portable lights, we will be back. We'll be able to land on portable lights, ICAO specified, while we continue to resolve the problem with respect to the fixed system.
The minister also noted that orders have already been made to replace some of the equipment.
We've got to replace major portions of cable for 2 entire circuits around the airport. That's what it looks like. We have to import lights, additional lights for replacement, generators for the lights, connectors, various other attachments and so on, to be able to get the fixed system back up in place. What we've been doing is that when you get a large number of lights down, you would use portable lights.
According to Minister Ben, the lighting system was repaired using the spares that were in stock following the storm. He said a series of other storms following July 29th continued to cause additional damage to the lighting system. These were all repaired, exhausting the available spares. The minister said the runway lighting problem have been caused by a lack of adequate earthing, which is difficult to achieve in that area because of the silica sand soil type. Meanwhile, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Roger Luncheon said a local electrical contractor would be engaged to diagnose the problems at the airport, while the original contractor overseas will be contacted to carry out the works on the system. Dr. Luncheon also stated that Cabinet gave the Transport and Hydraulics Ministry the go-ahead to procure standby systems for the airport. Reporting for the NCN News, Akila Jacobs.